Farewell to the God of War. Episode 9. Hearing Mr. Luke's words, all the people was stunned. Mr. Luke was the general manager and was already the top leader of the branch company. There was only one person that could be called by him like this, that was, chairman of the group. Thinking of that, Captain Ten felt helpless. He knelt at the foot of Asher, quickly pleaded, "Chairman, I'm sorry. I was wrong. You are so kind, please let me go." Mr. Like did not know what happened. Getting the news that the chairman was coming to the company, he came directly. Unexpectedly, Asher was already standing at the door of the company, as if something had happened to him. "What happened?" Mr. Luke asked with anger. "He paid too much to become the general manager. Now the branch has just been set up, his staff collided with the chairman, so he was angry." Asher's face was dark. "If I don't let you go, then I'm a bad person?" Hearing Asher's words, Captain Ten was scared. "Chairman, I don't mean that. I really know I was wrong. Please give me a chance." Asher rebuked coldly, "Get out." After 5 years of military service, Asher had already understood a truth that a man must be punished if he made a mistake. In his capacity, there was no need to argue with a security captain, but Ash Young Group was the only thing his mother left in the world, and no one could damage its image. Captain Ten wanted to beg, but Mr. Luke kicked him over and yelled, "Send him away." Luke was very careful. He knew some of the rumors about Asher. The two entered the company one after the other. All of the staff looked at Asher with shock on their faces. Luke, who was high in their eyes, actually bowed slightly and followed Asher closely. They have heard for a long time that chairman of Ash Young Group would come to the company. Looking at Mr. Luke's cautious appearance, Asher's identity was clear. When Mr. Luke came to Jiangnan, there were countless people from high-class families to visit, but now he is following a young man. It's amazing. Nonsense, in the capacity of general, even if the richest man in Jiangnan comes, he doesn't have such treatment. This young man must be chairman of the board. Isn't the chairman too young? I'm in love. Asher's appearance caused a great disturbance. "Cassie, look, is that person whom Mr. Luke always follows Asher?" After the application process, Claire just arrived at the hall and saw Asher's back, and she was surprised. When Cassie looked over, Asher had disappeared at the end of the corridor. "You said that Mr. Luke followed someone. Do you think it might be the loser?" Cassie said. Claire slapped her head, "I'm really confused. It must be chairman of the board who would come to the company." On the top floor of the company, in a luxurious office, Asher sat on the comfortable sofa, closed his eyes and kept quiet. Benny Luke carefully stood aside. "Chairman, your presence must be for something to order. Just tell me, I will not let you down." "Wait." Asher coldly responded, still closed eyes. As time went by, Asher kept his eyes closed. Asher made Luke feel endless pressure. A layer of fine sweat gradually appeared on his forehead. He was nervous in his heart. The chairman said wait. Who was he waiting for? Could it be that chairman of the board knew anything? Just when Benny Luke was worried, the door of the office was pushed open. He was about to scold the man. He saw the man walking to Asher and handed out a document. "Mr. Young, here is what you want." Until then, Asher opened his eyes and turned over the documents. The expression on his face gradually became gloomy. Benny Luke was flustered. He stared at the document, and a sense of foreboding suddenly rushed in his heart. Asher threw the document hard on Benny. "Read it." Looking at Asher, who suddenly burst into anger, Benny couldn't help but tremble, and quickly picked up the document from the ground. On June 5, at Inlight Hotel, he accepted bribes. Benny only read a sentence and then stopped. He didn't dare to read it more. In the documents, all the evidence of his crimes after he served as the general manager was clearly recorded. Even the time and place of his criminal evidence were clearly recorded. There was no way to deny. Asher said angrily, "Continue to read." Benny was so scared that he shivered and knelt at Asher's feet. "Chairman, I was wrong. I dare not do it again. Please give me a chance." At this time, Benny's face was covered with tears. It was not easy for him to walk from a small employee at the bottom to here. In the company for more than 10 years, he was disciplined and did not accept a bribe. Until the headquarters appointed him as the general manager of Jiangnan branch, countless Jiangnan celebrities actively courted him. He finally failed to resist the temptation and received a lot of gifts in private. "Mr. Young, do you want to kill him?" Just when Benny was worried about whether he could continue to be the general manager, Mac Tuesday made such a remark, which almost made him faint. Of course, Mac Tuesday was not joking. He knew clearly about the significance of Ash Young Group to Asher. Benny's behavior showed that he has done something harmful to the interests of the company for personal gain. He was too bold. Asher didn't speak, and his fingers gently knocked on the tea table. "Benny has been paralyzed. He didn't even have the strength to beg for mercy. Since you did that first time, I can give you a chance. But remember, only this time, if you commit a crime again, the bribes you take will be the money to buy your life in advance." Asher squinted his eyes and said. Then he got up to leave. Benny's face was full of joy. He hurriedly promised to Asher. "Thank you, Chairman. I promise that there will never be another time." Originally, he thought he was going to be sent to prison, but he didn't expect that Asher was willing to give him a chance. For a while, he was extremely grateful and secretly vowed that he would work well for Asher. After following Asher to the outside of the company, Mac asked, "Mr. Young, why do you still keep him?" "I just came back, and I don't have many people to use. It's easy to make him disappear, but it's hard to find a general manager who is familiar with Ash Young Group's business." Asher said, "Ash Young Group has been under the control of Owen family for so many years. The top management of the company is originally trained by the Owen family. Unless I replace all the people at this time. If I really do that, the company will really be destroyed in my hands. Even if it needs to be changed, it is not now. This matter should not be carried out too quickly. I know. You are trying to train your men, and then change the headquarters all." Although Mac was good at martial arts, he was not a boorish fellow. He soon understood Asher's intention. "You have already grasped the evidence of Benny's crimes. Just when he is about to run down, you give him the chance. He must be grateful and do well for the company. If Benny can work well, he will certainly be more capable." Asher looked at Mac with a complicated look on his face, and then sighed gently. "With your ability, if you stay in the Northern Territory, your future is limitless. It's a pity to follow me." Mac subconsciously stood up straight, looked serious. "In the North, you are a god. If it wasn't for you, I may have died several times. It's my honor to follow you." Asher did not speak more. He walked a few steps, suddenly stopped and said, "Check out Who Framed Me and Sassy 5 years ago." Suddenly, a breath of terror broke out from Asher, and his eyes were full of chill. Episode 10. The next morning, the top floor of Sunny Group. Every Monday, there was a regular meeting of the company. At this time, all Queen family members were sitting around the conference table. "Sassy, I heard that your useless husband who has been missing for 5 years has come back." The man was Sassy's cousin Paolo Queen. Seeing Sassy enter the conference room, he smiled. "What does it have to do with you whether he comes back or not?" Sassy frowned and asked. "It has nothing to do with me, but Queen family has declined because of the scandal between you and this bastard. Otherwise, Quen family has now become one of the first-class families in Jiangnan." Paolo said, "If it is another woman, when such a thing happened, she would not live. I didn't expect that you would give birth to a bitch. It's a shame to Queen family." "Shut up." Sassy suddenly stood up, her face full of anger. She always protected her daughter well. No one could bully her daughter. No one stood up to speak for Sassy. They were all gloating and waiting for the play. Here comes the master. Paolo was just about to speak. Suddenly a footstep sounded at the door. He coldly looked at Sassy and stopped talking. Then the old master of Queen family with white hair entered the meeting room and sat in the position of chairman. There were many companies under Queen family, but Sunny Group was the best developed one. Therefore, Sunny Group became the base camp of the family after it was taken over by Queen family 4 years ago. Every time she sat here for a meeting, Sassy felt the pain in her heart. This was her industry, but now it belonged to the family. Even if she was unwilling to do so, everything had become a foregone conclusion. Although the master was old, he didn't mean to abdicate, but he held the position of the master in his own hands tightly. He glanced at the crowd, and then said, "Last month, Owen family set up a branch in Jiangnan. During this period, it has been in the preparation period. I got the latest news that the branch will officially open in the next few days. Countless famous families want to cooperate with Ashyung Group. Our Queen family must not fall behind. Whether Queen family can be ranked first class, it depends on whether we can win the cooperation of Ashyung Group." Hearing his words, all the people were excited. Some people directly asked, "Master, if we can win the cooperation of Ashyung Group, can we get any reward?" The old man looked at the man and sneered, "If someone can win the contract of Ashyung Group, he can sit on the position of chairman of Sunny Group." Everyone was shocked. In order to win the cooperation of Ashyung Group, the old man was willing to take Sunny Group as a reward. Sassy clenched her lips tightly. Sunny Group belonged to her. It was obviously difficult to get the cooperation of Ashyung Group. Otherwise, the old man would not use the position of chairman as a reward. For a moment, everyone looked at Sassy and Paolo. One was the eldest grandson of the master, and the other was outstanding. Now the old master liked these two people very much. However, everyone here knew that Sunny Group belonged to Sassy. Paolo, of course, knew the importance of winning the cooperation. He stood up first and said with a smile, "Grandfather, I think we must think carefully about cooperation." "Oh?" the old man asked, "What do you think?" Paolo said, "In fact, when Ashyung Group just established the branch, I had already started to prepare. However, the threshold of Ashyung Group was very high, and I spent a lot to get through some relations, but it was still very difficult to win the cooperation. You have done a good job. Although you have not won the cooperation, you have at least started to take action and have established some relations. When the meeting is over, you can apply for 1 million working funds from the financial department." The old master was very generous. "Thank you, Grandpa." Paolo was overjoyed. Others looked envious. Paolo suddenly took a meaningful look at Sassy, and then said, "Grandfather, although I want to win the cooperation, it's very difficult to rely on me alone. After all, in front of Ashyung Group, Queen family is just one of many small families. Why should they cooperate with us? Now that you have said that, is there any good way?" asked the old man. Paolo laughed, "I got the inside information. Ashyung Group will not choose some small families for this cooperation. We are not qualified according to that, so we can work with a family with the same size as Queen family. Paolo, your proposal is very good. Go on." The more he listened, the more satisfied he was. Paolo smiled, "Grandfather, Zoran Wayne, the eldest son of the Wayne family, has been pursuing Sassy. Zoran has shown that as long as Sassy marries him, there is absolutely no problem in cooperation." All people looked at Sassy. She looked suddenly changed greatly. She said quickly, "Grandfather, I've been married. How can I marry someone else?" "Sassy, we all know the thing between you and the loser. After you married, he disappeared for 5 years. There is no relationship between you. It is better to marry Zoran, he can help the family, better than that loser. The old master looked at Sassy and said. Sassy clenched her red lips. Her look was full of firmness. She shook her head and said, Grandfather, in my whole life, I'm only Asher's wife. The old man slapped his hands on the table and became furious. 5 years ago, if it wasn't for the scandal between you and that bastard, Queen family had already become first-class family. Would you like to ruin the future of Queen family again? Sassy bit her lips and clenched her fists tightly. She didn't realize that her nails had penetrated into her hands, because at the moment, the pain in her heart was even worse. The reason why Queen family has the status now depended on Sunny Group. Instead of thinking about her contribution to the family, the master blamed her for the family's failure to become first class. It's settled. After the meeting, I'll contact the head of the Wang family in person to talk about the marriage. The old man immediately decided, without considering whether Sassy would agree or not. I'm still alive, and you want my wife to remarry. How can you do that? At this time, a cold voice suddenly sounded. And then a familiar figure appeared in the meeting room. In the shock of the Queen family, Asher went to Sassy and sat beside her. He looked at her with a soft look. I said that in the future, no one is allowed to hurt you. Episode 11. Sassy was stunned. After driving away Asher yesterday, her daughter was crying to look for her father. She was regretful, for fear that her daughter's father would leave again. But when she was going to face everything alone, Asher unexpectedly came. Asher's behavior moved her a little. Her heart trembled a little. Who are you? How dare you break into the meeting room? Get him out of here. At this time, the old man didn't recognize Asher. Asher and the people of Queen family had not met each other much. 5 years later, how could they recognize Asher at a glance? Grandfather, he is Asher Young, who married Sassy 5 years ago and then suddenly disappeared. Paolo had heard about Asher's coming back. He recognized Asher immediately and looked at Sassy. The old man realized who Asher was. His eyes narrowed slightly and he looked at Asher from head to foot. Except for some differences in temperament, he seemed to have no change. He was still in his poor clothes. Although Sassy wanted someone to be able to bear everything with her, Asher's appearance at this time could only make things more chaotic. She looked angry. Who let you come? Asher was not surprised at Sassy's hostility to himself. If he can get Sassy's approval just now, isn't Sassy's approval too cheap? The old man waved his hand and stopped Sassy from talking. He stared at Asher. It turns out to be you the loser. You ruined the reputation of Queen family. If it wasn't for you, Queen family would have been one of the first-class families in Jiangnan. I didn't expect that you would dare to come back. Asher's gaze sharpened. He sneered, I destroy your family's honor? You, the head of Queen family, don't you know the truth? Mac Tuesday had made it clear what happened in those years. Everything was a play that Queen family directed and performed in order to get Sunny Group. If it was not for the sake of Sassy, Queen family would have been destroyed last night. What are you talking about? The old man was furious. He slapped on the table and stood up. His eyes were full of anger. Because of excitement, the old man suddenly coughed and his body was shaking. Grandfather. Sassy rushed up, but Paolo had already helped the old man. Get out of here. Paolo angrily yelled, how dare you call grandfather? Did you ask your husband to annoy grandfather? If there is something wrong with the old master, we will not let you go. 5 years ago, you shamed Queen family because of the dirty things. Now do you still want to piss off the old master and let Queen family be destroyed? In my opinion, your family is the disaster. You should be expelled from Queen family. You should never enter Queen family. Sassy has paid so much for her family. Even Sunny Group, which only belonged to her, has been owned by Queen family, but now it has ended in betrayal. Looking at Sassy's tottering body, Asher felt terrible. The old man's anger gradually subsided. Looking at Sassy, he said, "Sassy, the decline of Queen family is due to you. Now Ashyung Group has set up a branch in Jiangnan. Only with their cooperation can Queen family become one of the first-class powerful families. Now only by marriage with the Wayne family can we hope to win the cooperation of Ashyung Group. You can either marry the son of the Wayne family or you can try to win the cooperation, or your family will be expelled from Queen family." Hearing the old man's words, Sassy's face turned pale. Even the top giants in Jiangnan may not be able to win the cooperation of Ashyung Group. How can she do it? "Grandfather, Sassy wanted to refuse, but Asher suddenly said, "We take it." "Good." Paolo was overjoyed. "Sassy, don't say that the family bullied you. Your husband personally accepted this task. Now even if you want to repent, it's too late. It's obviously an impossible task. He dares to promise it. It's just like the rumor. He's just a loser." Some people whispered. Well, that's the end of today's regular meeting. The old man got up to leave, and he looked at Sassy again. 3 days, I only give you 3 days. If you can't finish the task, you have to leave Queen family on your own initiative. The old man directly turned to leave, and everyone was looking at Sassy with a look of schadenfreude. "Huh, Sassy, what can you do? I am Queen family's lineage. In the eyes of the master, only I am the future of the family. After 3 days, I will be glad to see your family being expelled from the family." Haha. The daughter of an illegitimate child wants to compete with Paolo for power? It's beyond her ability. Paolo, I have always been on your side. When you inherit the position of chairman, don't forget me. Yes, Paolo, we all support you. Soon, Paolo left the conference room surrounded by everyone, leaving only Asher and Sassy. Sassy gave a slap in the face of Asher. When Asher saw the tears on Sassy's face, his anger disappeared. "Sassy, As soon as Asher was about to speak, Sassy interrupted him. "I'll admit that 5 years ago, you were also a victim. But you took away my father's $500,000. It was compensation for you. If you didn't want to marry me, why didn't you tell me earlier? You disappeared for 5 years as soon as we got married. Do you know how much I suffered? I've been like this. Why do you want to revenge me? Tell me, why?" Sassy's tears fell to the ground one by one and broke into pieces. Asher was extremely sad. He went up to Sassy's shoulders and said, "I really didn't take your father's money. I never wanted to revenge you. This time I came back to compensate you and our daughter. Please believe that I will never harm you." "Shut up. You don't deserve to mention my daughter." Sassy pushed Asher aside with tears all over her face. "Since you are not here to revenge, why do you take that task at the family meeting? The task is impossible to accomplish at all." For more episode, don't forget to subscribe.